Shouts out Big Steve.
Shout out Michael Bisman. PFL, first card of the year. It's another opportunity to make some cash. So we're going to break it down. Break it down quickly and then move on with my day. Right. Let me just see if we have some totals. We had a really good March. Not really good. Just under 6 units, but I expected more. Aiming for 10 units minimum this month. So hopefully it starts with some regionals. I'm grinding hard this week. I almost did all of UFC and pretty much all of PFL. So yeah, some bets will be made. Just checking, do we have totals? Do we have totals on PFL tournament? Oh, we do. All right. So I'll look at that. And we'll get to it, shall we? Dog Father. Whoa. Whoa, indeed. It's crazy stuff. Will it get crazier? Tune in. All right, first fight. Frederik Dupras. This fight has been shifted. Dupras is now fighting Gabriel Braga. Topology is lacking. And Nathan Garib might have a new opponent. We don't know. We'll talk about it later. Joseph Luciano Sarek Shield. This is a grappler versus grappler. And Joseph is, I was going to say minus 200, but he's worse than minus 200 now. I kind of get it. For some reason, Joseph has a lot of hype on him. I was always saying that this is one of the better guys, outside of the UFC from the Australian regional scene. He obviously went to a decision with Prates, one of the only guys to not be finished by him. And, he was the eternal MMA champion, and then he fought for the Hex Championship with Jonathan Mikhailov, who's in the UFC, and he kind of lost. He lost a battle of grappling, right? He was less physical. He gassed really quickly. There's Jonathan Walutz that he submitted 7-0, the most padded record ever. And I don't even know what his best win is. Maybe Caleb Radow. This is the guy that beat, who's the New Zealander? French New Zealander, Kevin Doucette. Caleb beat him. That's maybe his best win, or Stephen Hill. Stephen Hill is an absolute bum, though. And Stephen Hill took him down many, many times. So I see some similarities in here in this fight. Sarek Shields is also a grappler. I think he can also hit takedowns on Joseph Luciano. The thing is kind of like a glass cannon. He gets a lot of finishes. He has good guillotines, good front headlock series. And then he's also been knocked out in round 2 both times. Thad Jean, who we'll speak about later, Alfonso Leyva, and he was even knocked out in round 2 by Josh Quinlan. All power hitters, which is fair enough. I don't think Luciano really poses a threat here. So I don't know. This is a competitive fight to me. Honestly, a really competitive fight. I have to watch this Aaron Killingat fight and potentially this LJ Porti fight to see what his decision equity is. Because I just get this feeling like maybe Luciano will be losing and then he might come in with a clutch rear naked choke or something like he did against Stephen Hill. But at the moment, it's a dog or pass. Luciano, I don't think he's that great personally. So anyway, moving on. Nathan Kelly versus Tai Kyun Kim. I completely forgot about this fight. I taped their last one of each. I know Kim, I mentioned on the early teas, I taped him when I was about to play his title fight in Brave against Bagatov, who's a massive crotch sniffer. That was a 5-rounder, and he almost won damage versus control. I said there might be some value in Kelly because he's usually a decent-sized favorite. Now, a bit of money's coming on him, and this is a competitive line. What do we have? Right, it's almost pick 'em. Well, about 20 cents. So right now, I would honestly play Kim. Kim has all the better wins, right? It's not even a question. Nathan Kelly, they've been giving him bums both in Cage Warriors and Bellator and in PFL. Who's his best win? Probably this Damian Nelson. Not the best record. He does have good wins on this regional scene, though. He just upset a favorite. I think it was Toro and Fury FC. So he has no good wins at all. Jose Sanchez, bum. And they're giving him this Ahmad Magomedov, who doesn't finish anyone. His last fight was a loss to Corrales in Bellator, and he broke Kelly. Kelly hurt him in the first round, and then he got broken with grappling, and he rear naked choked him. So Kim is not really a grappler, which is what broke Kelly. He's a good striker, though. So it's a favorite pass for me at the moment. I have to do some more digging on this one. And I also haven't looked at the totals. Let me go back to the totals. Luciano under. It's probably going to be juicy here. So the under 2.5 is minus 200. So I feel like they're overvaluing Luciano and his unders quite a bit recently. Can he sub Shields? I'm not too sure. Maybe. And what else? And the Kelly Kim. under is 2.5 rounds is plus money. Well, that has my attention because Kim finishes everyone, right? Finished Carl the Thomas bum. All right, has a decision with Akishev. He hurt him a bunch. Finished Hussein. Finished Arturo Chavez. Eric Da Silva didn't finish him. Triangle choke. That under has my attention. I need to do some more deep digging though. Speaking of unders, Giannis Bachar versus Masayuki Kikuiri. This is an interesting one. This is a striker versus striker. And one guy is minus 200. And it's not the Greek Muay Thai champion, right? It's the Japanese dude, Kikuiri. I kind of thought Bachar was chinny. I've taped him a bunch for Cage Warriors, etc., etc. Obviously, he got sparked in 20 seconds in Ultimate Fighter by Valentin, who's fighting in the UFC this week. He's very good striking, very good counter-grappling. Both these guys have counter-grappling. Basically, Giannis has got the faster hands. It looks like a more well-drilled Muay Thai striker. And Kikuiri is more patient, switches stances. He throws out teeps a bit slower, looks for the big right hand, even throws crescent kicks. He's a lot more patient. And he seems to be more durable. He has the Korean defense, though. I know he's Japanese. Take it easy. Calm your farm. It's how he fights. He fights like a standard Korean striker with no defense. So, I mean, a minus 200 striker versus striker fight, I'm not willing to say it's a lock. I get it, though. I get it. He should have more power. He should have the better chin. He beat this Alexei Shurokovich, who I keep fading in ACA. I played the under there in Bellator, in his Bellator debut. I thought both guys could hurt each other. Masayuki hurt him twice and then knocked him out in round 2, and even Shurokovich dropped him. So that was a good play. But ever since then, I've been trying to fade Alexei in ACA, and he's on like a 4-fight win streak. So that win is aging decently. So I do think the Japanese guy probably has more upside to knock him out, better durability, but I'm not really rushing it, man. Striking fight seems like a bunch of regional bums. What's the under? Do we go back to the well? The under, probably minus 200, pretty much. Almost minus 200, 2.5 rounds. Probably accurate. Who knows? Alrighty, Gabriel Braga. He is now fighting this Frederik Dupras. Dupras, first time I taped him, Samurai Champion FC. He honestly reminds me of Dufort, the other Canadian French ape that just keeps on getting guillotines and submissions. This Dupras, he kind of looks like Thibaut Gouti from the side. Just comes at you super aggressively and has a bunch of guillotines, literally all round ones or arm triangle chokes or anacondas, and he just sells out for them. And he's even been guillotined in 2016 by another guy, and he's even been knocked out by this Johnny Baldridge in 51 seconds 2018, who is a jobber. I looked at his record, and I can't find that fight. I would love to see, does he have any chin issues, per se? I would love to find that fight, but I can't. And, I mean, other than all these bums that he's been running through in Samurai, he's fought Jesse Arnett in his last fight. And, I mean, Jesse Arnett, 30-fight veteran, 20-10. He's not bad at all. He's 40, but he's kind of losing a lot more recently now. And he went into round 1 for the first time in his pro career, and he still hit a guillotine in round 2. And it wasn't even properly locked in. He was basically in side control, but he went for a power guillotine and he still got it. So this guy's very opportunistic with his subs. I mean, I assume Braga's going to be a massive, massive favorite. It was $1.17 against Yves Landu, who's a proven athletic specimen that wins as an underdog. And, what's he going to be a short notice against this unknown Dupras? But maybe a little poke on Dupras, Like, he seems all right. He doesn't seem like a bad fighter. Obviously, he's very, very unproven. And Braga, I live bet Braga against Kennedy, who we'll speak about in a couple of fights, and he barely won that fight, 29-28. He had a 30-27 shout. But he's a good striker, but, grappling is his thing. And maybe he can be submitted. Who knows? Who knows? This Frederik guy is a bit of a wild card. It's a perfect way to describe him. We don't have any odds, so I'm just speculating. This is all speculation, breakdowns with no totals, no odds. Big Bird, do you have a bigger unit than Giannis Bachar? You never know, mate. You never know. Probably not. The guy has an awful chin, but, the world gives you something and takes away another thing. So he probably has a big unit. Alrighty. What do we got? Mukhamed, Berkhamov, Thadjean. So this was... Thadjean was meant to fight someone else, Joseph Luciano. That would have been a good prospect versus prospect fight. And instead, they shuffle things around, and Mahmoud is fighting Jean, which is also a good fight. Essentially, I would have loved to play Jean a little bit better than -200. That line was destroyed. And now he's like, what, $1.30 something? Let me have a look. $1.40. It's not as bad. It's kind of bounced back up again. Maybe if he goes up to -200, I'll hit it. You know, Mukhamed, he's got this shiny, beautiful record. He's a Russian coaster. He's young. He's only 31. And I basically faded him with a washed Cooper, the third. And he almost lost. It was a split decision. I felt a little bit robbed there. So he's not this perfect fighter whatsoever. He doesn't really have the best wins. You know, he's got some good wins in ACB over not the best fighters. He's got good submission upside. Essentially, he took a big step up against Lorenz Larkin and he was killed with one elbow. So I feel like Thadjean is very raw. You know, he beat Shields, Jared Shields, who we spoke about in the second fight. He went grappling for grappling with him, kind of had some reversals, took his back, almost rear naked choked him. So, yeah, he's a good fighter. He's improving. I played some massive chalk on Thadjean before on PFL Challenger Series, and he covered. So, yeah, I think he probably kills him at some point. If not, he wins a competitive decision. He took a step up against Chris Brown and won a competitive decision as well. That's not an easy fight to win. You know, 3-round striking fight against Chris Brown. He's upset a lot of favorites, a lot of hype trains. So, yeah, I think Thadjean beats him. Not really feeling Berkhamov favorite line. Let me see what the under is. So it's under 1.5 rounds, which is a bit a plus 160. That's a juicy number. You know, Thad can go under quite a lot. And the times he hasn't gone under, he's dropped people multiple times. So we'll see. We'll see. Big Bird, go figure. This dude Dupras trains with Dufort. I mean, could they have any more of a similar fighting style? Dogfather coming in, glazing himself about his Gene play. I called him out, and he took the bait. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Alrighty, Jeremy Kennedy, Movlid, Khaybulaev. Khaybulaev coming back off a massive layoff. You know, if this guy is fighting in the season, you basically know he's winning it. He had how much? Almost 2 years off now. And yeah, had a lot of injuries, I'm pretty sure. A lot of injuries, or one big injury. And he's fighting Jeremy Kennedy. Jeremy Kennedy is a massive sniffer. I hate this guy. This guy will just hold you against the cage for 15 minutes and not do anything. Zero finishing upside, zero submission upside. And to top it off, he's a flaky bum. You know, I don't think his chin's the great. He's quit multiple times in the cage. He held Gabriel Braga for like 15 minutes and he still lost due to damage because he just does no damage at all. I don't really think he has any good wins. Yeah, I think obviously Movlid is a massive favorite. I don't think he will be able to grapple Movlid, so he's drawing dead. But maybe Movlid inside the distance is a cheeky one. So let's see. I know people have been on the under in the Movlid fight, myself included, and I've been burnt many times because he just puts in a crotch sniffing performance. And it finally hit against Diamond. You know, he dropped him multiple times and then he arm triangle choked him. So he showed some good killer instinct for once. But, you know, can he do it here? Depends. It all depends on the line. Under 2.5 rounds and we're getting plus 140. I'm tempted. There we go. That's what we're looking. And also, I should say, no more PFL format of points. You know, finish gets you 6 points. It's just winner moves on to the next tournament, next round. So I don't know if you believe in that the fighters, you know, come out more aggressively if they need the points. That's not going to be available anymore. But we probably won't have as many fixes anymore. It felt like there was a lot of fixes in PFL, just random injuries and, you know, people coming in and falling over and rubbish. Lots of rubbish stuff. Subhuman Gaucho, what's up, my friend? A little bit earlier for you. I hope you appreciate it. Gas Packs, Movlid KO. I said that on the early teas, although, you know, I reminded myself that he actually arm triangled old mate Diamond. So I wouldn't want to be greedy and miss out, you know, because it could be another club in sub. Alrighty, let's move on. Good fight. Magomed, Umalatov, Logan, Storley. So, dog or pass for me. I said Umalatov was a little bit underwhelming, and I've kind of come around on it. Like, he's underwhelming, but he's still 30-20-7ing, people like Andrey, Koreshkov, both in the grappling department and on the feet. He's hurting him, and then he's wrestling him. But, then I taped Koreshkov versus the Japanese dude, Goichi, and he's getting easily wrestled by Goichi. So, obviously not the best Russian when it comes to takedown defense. So, obviously got the crap beaten out of him by Shamil Musayev. Logan Storley, is another wrestler. I wish he would improve his striking. When he beat the crap out of Gracie, it kind of looked like he was making some strides, changing. And then you watch his fight against Lucas Buklit, and it's just a whole lot of, cage humping again. So, I don't know. It's still dog or pass. I'm not really feeling like parlaying Umalatov. Like $1.30, when has he covered this line? Surprisingly, he covered against Koreshkov. He covered against Brandon Ward, who's a bum. Delano Taylor, he's actually beat some good guys. KO'd some good guys. It's still dog or pass for me. I'm just not feeling it. Maybe after some more extensive tape, I'll be interested. What do we have on the Storley totals? Over 2.5 rounds is minus 200. Now, Umalatov is definitely not Shamil Musayev, that's for sure. That's for sure. So, first glance at that total, not really interested. Jesus Pinedo. Oh, my boy, FIFA Gaming. Serbians have to come through this weekend. Is there any other Serbians fighting? We got my boy Rade Opacic in Glory, one of the best Glory cards. And yeah, I guess we got Fedor Duric versus another Serbian in Octagon, 2 Serbs. I don't know any others. But yes, come through. I do enjoy me some hometown winning. Jesus Pinedo, Aaron Borics. This is another striking fight. Aaron Borics is very good, man. 19-2 with only losses being to one of the GOATs in Bellator, Pitbull, where he kept throwing flying knees and ending up on bottom in a competitive striking fight. And then the last one was, Darian Caldwell years ago, taken down, instantly rear naked choke. So his issue is his grappling. And I get why some people are fading Jesus Pinedo, because this will be a striking fight. But my issue is, which is why I haven't locked it in yet, is Borics has never really fought the kicker or like Pinedo, right? So when he's fighting Enrique Barzola, Mads Burnell, Jeremy Kennedy, just punching bags that grapple, they don't really kick. Mads is like a Gaethje. I always compare him to Gaethje. Pressure forward, high guard, no head movement, just eating everything. Gave Borics the perfect fight. 8 calf kicks. Same as Barzola, got hurt multiple times. Couldn't really hold him down. He has bad control. Same as Kennedy. Eric Sanchez is a regional boxer. Not much kicks. Mike Hamill went to a split with him, and he's a boxer wrestler. He's never really fought someone as long as Jesus Pinedo, who has the power. Pinedo is like got a bit of aura about him, got the touch of death. He's only 28. Whereas Pinedo is actually for someone similar, in my opinion, to Borics in Gabriel Braga twice. He lost the split to him in 2023. And then he rematched them and knocked them out in the same year. All right, that was still competitive. The first time he got his calf damaged by Gabriel Braga, which I guess Borics can do as well. He's a calf kicker. Well, I don't know if he kicks as hard as Gabriel Braga. So my issue is, Pinedo has seen this matchup. That's probably the hardest opponent he's ever fought. I'm not really counting his loss to John McDessie, 2019. Right, the guy was like 23 years of age. And he's improved a lot since then. So he's fought Gabriel Braga twice. Really good fighter. Lost the split, beat him. We a finish. So, should he be the favorite over Borics? Maybe. I think so. I don't know. Borics, I feel like Borics needs a really clean fight. And he gets very clean fight a lot of time against his strikers, and he's still competitive. So he's not going to get a clean fight against Jesus Pinedo if Pinedo decides to throw, right? He has a lot of power. He sits on his punches, sits on his kicks. So I just think he's more of a dog. Not saying it's a bad bet. He could play out Pick'em, just like the Gabriel Braga fights, but I'm not really feeling it. I think Pinedo, it's a tough challenge for Borics that he hasn't seen just yet. FIFA Gaming, Opacic, right. By the way, I tailed this bet, but I'm still taping it in Glory FC. Borics is not going to get Pinedo's respect. That's what I'm thinking. I've actually seen Borics hurt by strikers as well. So, Dogfather, Jesus Ora Pinedo, correct. My only issue is he's been hurt a bit, but I'm not really advocating playing his chalk. So, and we're here. We're here for the main event. Jason Jackson, Andrey Koreshkov. Jason Jackson, massive favorite, $1.30. Has it moved? Well, money coming on Andrey Koreshkov. That's a shame. That's a shame. I was saying dog or pass. I would have liked a much better line, but I guess the public is catching on. I don't think Jason Jackson is that great, honestly. He was a massive underdog to Amasov. I played Amasov as like an idiot, right? It was like $1.43. I thought he has Jackson beat everywhere. I don't think Jackson has really any good wins on his record, right? What's he got? He's got Paul Daly, Naaman Gracie, which was a very competitive fight. Wash Benson Henderson, Jordan Mean, lost to Ed Ruth, a split to Herman Souza. Like, right, Douglas Lima. If anyone wants to grapple Douglas Lima, they'll do it. He just went with that game plan. And that's why he was a massive underdog to Amasov. Amasov comes in and he looks absolutely dead 3 minutes in. I knew I lost that bet straight away. I turned that fight on 3 minutes into the fight. And I'm like, cool, why is Amasov breathing so hard? And I'm like, that's it, it's done. The fight's over. I just knew it was a horrible bet. So I don't care what anyone says. Amasov came in completely compromised in that fight. And because of that, it seems like the bookies are constantly glazing Jackson, right? He was almost minus 200 favorite against Ramazan Kurmagomedov. I faded him there. And he lost. He lost a clear competitive fight. So now he's fighting another Russian, Andrey Koreshkov, and he was a decent-sized favorite, and now a little bit of money is coming on Koreshkov. People have caught on. So I'm not rushing this fight. I want to see where the line goes. I want to do some more tape. Obviously, Jackson's 34. He seems a little bit less washed. Koreshkov, easy to wrestle. As I mentioned in the Goichi Yamauchi fight, he seems a little bit more washed. He's getting hurt more. But, his split decision with Lorenz Larkin, it's aging well. A couple of years ago, he still killed Chance for country, beat Hamasi, had another split with a more in-prime Larkin. He doesn't really have any bad losses, right? Douglas Lima in his prime, twice. So Umalatov rinsed him from start to finish, but it's a bit of a levels fight. Is Jason Jackson as good as Umalatov? Maybe. I definitely don't think he has the power, and I definitely don't think he has the wrestling, but that's where we're at. This line is bouncing. I'm not too sure how I feel about it, but I do not think Jackson is that great, right, to warrant this much disrespect. And I didn't really talk about the unders in the last two. So Pinedo, Borics probably goes over unless Pinedo knocks him out. So we got $1.60 for the over 2.5 rounds. It's going to be one of those sweaty ones, I think Borics is less durable than Braga as well. So there's that. If you play it, probably goes over, but probably a bunch of knockdowns and injured calves and whatnot. And then the main event, Jason Jackson, what do we have for the total here? The over 2.5 is very, very chalky. Very, very chalky. It makes sense. Jason Jackson, a bit of a decision machine. But he can KO people. He can KO gassed people especially, right? Killed a washed Cooper with calf kicks and killed a gassed Amasov with one uppercut in round 3. Other than that, pretty pathetic finishing rate. Koreshkov's looking a bit washed. He didn't get killed by I don't know. I mean, under or pass. Not really interested. So, do a little overview. I think I'm going to have bets on this card. So, obviously, Luciano Shields, I don't know. Maybe that under 2.5 has value. Who knows? Nathan Kelly, Kim. It's Kim or pass for me at the moment. Now that the line is coming, I like the under. Cheeky little under. Bachar, Kikuiri, not really interested in anything. Braga versus Dupras, we don't have any odds. Tajin, Berkhamov, I feel like the under 1.5 could be the side here. Correlates with Gene killing him. Kennedy Khaybulaev, Doman the under there too. Umalatov, Storley or pass. Borics, Pinedo. I don't want to say Borics or pass because line is coming in, so we'll see. And Jackson, Koreshkov, who knows? We'll see where this line goes. Maybe I come out and play the chalky Jackson anyway. We'll see. But that's about it. That's about it. Interesting card. It's high level, These Umalatov, Storley, Pinedo, Borics, Koreshkov, Jackson. These are high level fighters. Khaybulaev, Tajin. It's very good. Very good. Even the bums, Bachar, Kikuiri, Kim, Kelly. This is probably one of the better fights. Probably the best thing that could have ever happened for our viewing pleasure is Bellator getting absorbed by PFL and doing really good matchups. But the issue is they're so boring. These fights are still boring as all hell. I don't know why they need to fix something. They need to do what Dana White was doing years ago and just cutting people like John Fitch and just focus on excitement alone. Dogfather, tempted on Kim and Pinedo. Yeah, I'm there with you, my friend. Kim as well and Pinedo, but I would like a better line on Pinedo. Hopefully more money comes in on Borics. Subhuman, fun PFL card. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it myself as well. All right, peace out, lads. One more UFC card coming. Maybe one more regional podcast coming too for Octagon 69. We'll see.